Everyone, welcome to the monthly OpenBazaar developer call. Thanks for joining. It is November 14th, 2019. Oh, just a reminder, these are recorded for posterity's sake and posted onto our YouTube channel, as well as the public chat being recorded as well. So, over the past month, there has been a few things going on, primarily two things. One is that we are going to put out a hotfix for some issues that we've had. That hotfix right now has release candidates both on the server side and on the overall desktop side. The server side version is 0.13.6, and the overall desktop release candidate is 2.3.6. So this is a hotfix to fix a particular issue. You'll see these messages: illegal wire type. Basically, there were order states that would get messed up, and messages would have a problem being delivered or retrieved. We know that this fix will fix some of the order issues and the messages. We don't know if it will fix all of them. Obviously, that would be nice, but that is sort of uncertain. But it fixes some of them, and excuse me, we've seen enough of those problems recently that we thought it was worth doing a hotfix before getting the Ethereum work out. That is the other primary thing that has been focused on, is the Ethereum work. And we've talked about this in past months. It's continuing, and I don't think we have a specific timeline on when it will come out. But the plan is, unless there's another bug or hotfix that needs to come out, the next release is going to be 2.4, which will have the Ethereum stuff as well. On the Haven side, there have been two primary things that we've been focusing on over the past month. One is Ethereum as well, continuing what was done before, and the other is work on the social feed side. So we're integrating a third-party service called Stream, which is going to allow us to expand the types of things that can be done in the social feed, and increase the reliability of the social feed, and just make overall the social section of the application a better experience. We don't have a specific timeline on when the next Haven release will come out, but the Stream stuff took a while to sort of get configured correctly. But at this point, we believe that we have figured out how all the Stream stuff is going to work, and it's just a matter of finishing the testing and getting the release out. I think it's the case that the next Haven release will have the Stream integration, but that it will not yet have the Ethereum integration. That will come afterwards. Other than that, one thing that we've been sort of experimenting on is offline message relaying. So, and people on the call probably realize this, but there's issues with reliability of getting offline messages occasionally. And a while ago, someone on our team, I think it was Chris, had built something to facilitate better relaying of those offline messages, and it was never actually used. But Rod from Zuko's had adopted it for his own purposes, and when we were seeing some of these offline issues, we started looking into that as well, done some more experimentation on it, and have tested it, and it appears as though it could be a useful piece of infrastructure to help offline ordering reliability. And lastly, OB1 has begun exploring offering a public coin API. Of course, we run Blockbook servers in order to help facilitate the network. That same infrastructure can be used for people building services on top who need a coin infrastructure. So if anyone out there is interested, we're talking to a few folks in the space right now. But if anyone out there is interested in that, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk about it. All right, OB1 team, is there anything that we have been working on over the past month that I have not yet mentioned?
Hey Sam, this is Mike. I have one clarification with regard to the hotfix that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned that the fix might resolve some of the order progression issues and message retrieval errors that we've been experiencing. And I wanted to clarify that this will help prevent new issues from occurring, but won't necessarily resolve past orders or messages that are in a stuck state. We're still exploring the best way to try to resolve those, but at least we hope the hotfix will help to prevent the pain that some of our users are experiencing going forward.
Okay, that's a good clarification. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. If people already have orders in a stuck state, as Mike points out, this may not actually fix that, but it should prevent that condition from happening again, at least for some. There may be other reasons why it was happening, but for that particular reason, the illegal wire type issue, that will not happen. So thank you for that clarification. Anything else on the OB1 side that I have left out?
I think you've covered it, Sam.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Moving forward over the next month, we're going to be continuing the things that I had discussed, the stream integration on the Haven side, and then after the hotfix is out, and we're already at release candidate, I think 3 on the desktop side. So it's been fairly well tested. But after the release candidate's done, then all the attention shifts back to the Ethereum work, and then the 2.4 focus. So that's really where we'll be focusing on over the next month. All right, that's really it from the OB1 side. I'd like to open it up now to any questions anyone has or any updates if anyone wants to share what they've been working on. Excuse me. Feel free to do that in the public chat or with a mic if you so choose. Rod says he has some Zokos updates once questions are done. Feel free to jump in, Rod, if anyone has questions. It looks like you're the only one with a mic on, so if anyone has questions, they can feel free to put them in the chat, and then I can touch on them after your updates. So the floor is yours.
Well, I'll first ask about the web version for OB1. I am always curious about that. I think that will be great for adoption. So I just want to ask what's happening with that. What's new?
Yeah, so the person, we have one person on our team who's primarily focused on that, and they have been working right now mostly on the integration of Ethereum on the OpenBazaar client side. They did shift over recently while waiting for some server changes to get back to focusing on the web interface. But there has not been a significant amount of work done over the past month on that issue. As to where, on the web side generally, as to where it is at overall, I don't remember. Josh, do you have a sense for how far along the web progress is?
Yeah, we're in the early stages of getting orders working. We've been able to send some primitive test orders, but we don't support the entire functionality of ordering yet.
Got it. I'm going to keep asking every month because it is a curiosity of mine. I'm really excited for that part.
Yeah, me too. Keep asking.
All right, so I'll get on with my updates. I have a pretty short list this month. So I run Zokos, and for those who don't know, it is an OpenBazaar app where we host basically all the stores that are on our network. And we just focus completely on the vendor selling side. A lot of our focus is trying to get people off platforms such as, Shopify, Amazon, eBay, etc. And so kind of what we've been doing this month, one of the major things we've been doing is a lot of housekeeping and kind of improving a lot of the speeds of some features, hiding complexity for some of the features. And another thing, we've been reached out to by a person who runs a number of stores for traditional outlets. They basically sell on every platform they can get their listings on, and they want to actually add OpenBazaar as an option for the customers that they support. And so we've been working on kind of documenting our full API and having that released for them. So a lot of kind of internal housekeeping stuff. The other thing that we're getting close to finalizing are our importers for stores that are currently on WooCommerce, Etsy, and PrestaShop. I know we've been working on this for a while. It's not that difficult. It's just been a lot of distractions from other things. And we have like a release date for next week that we're going to be releasing that. It's going to be open source. So if they want to import on Zocos, they can. Or if they run their own desktop nodes, they can too. And that's basically it for our side.
Thanks for the update, Rod, and thank you for open sourcing that for people who run the desktop. We're always fans of open source stuff. Rod has already contributed open source stuff in the form of search engines in the past, so I really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, Rob, this is Mike. Plus one to Sam's comment. A couple of follow-up questions to you. The first, do you have an idea as far as how large the listing index might be for the partner that you're working with? And do you have any plans for Shopify and Gumroad, which are both platforms that people have requested importers for as well?
So Shopify is already available, and it has the GitHub. It's already open sourced on there. There are like a few minor bugs, but most CSVs work for those importations. Gumroad, I would just have to check what they have for their exportability. But definitely, I mean, most of the CSV export features that's pretty standard for these platforms to support are pretty standard. So they're not that much different. So it's just a little bit of editing to make it work with the rest of them. I'll look into Gumroad. I haven't heard any requests for it yet, but if it's close, they support the standard export, similar to like Etsy and WooCommerce, Shopify. It shouldn't be a problem. And then as for how many listings the person was talking about, I think they said, so they manage stores for a number of different clients. And so they said they run about 10 different stores and there's about 100,000 listings in all of their catalogs. They didn't know how many stores would want to get on to OpenBazaar, but when they discussed the idea, there was interest from their vendors. So as far as I know, it's at max 100,000 listings for the catalogs.
Well, that is an exciting possibility. It'd be great to see anywhere near that amount of listings on the network. So we'll watch that with interest. Thanks, Rod. Are there any other questions or comments from anyone on the call? Feel free to use the chat if you have any. FCL, I see you now. We forgive you for being late. If you want to review this meeting later, it will be posted to YouTube, so the whole thing should be available. Do you have FCL or anyone else last call for questions before we wrap up this meeting? Beauty Bubble has asked if you could re-explain Zocos, and Rod, go for it.
Yeah, I guess to re-explain it, I'm not sure exactly what I missed. I know it can be kind of confusing. I'll start with, we just focus on the vendor side. We host the store, so that means we completely control the store's keys and all that. And so the benefit is that it's usually a lot simpler and more convenient for people who aren't as concerned about that part, but just want to get their listings onto OpenBazaar. And usually they're sellers from like marketplaces like Etsy or Shopify or any of the other number of platforms. And they just want to expand their listings onto OpenBazaar as well. And if there's something that's still kind of confusing, just tell me and I'd be happy to talk about that more.
Looks like Beauty Bubble got it. So thanks again, Rod. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions or comments. If anyone else has them, please feel free to join the chat. Join the Slack group where you can ping us and ask anything you like. And it seems like a fairly short session this time, but hopefully see you all next month. And thanks to everyone for joining. Y'all have a good day.